Doth thou often start thy day, feeling as though something is lacking? Doth thou feel that thou must acquire more, achieve more, and feel more in order to be at peace? The anxiety of modern life beginneth with this sense of lack, the endless pursuit of filling the void, the urgency of it all. Yet, 3,000 years ago, the word of God spoke of a different way of life. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, wrote King David. Today, we shall open the scriptures, and behold the promise of God behind this declaration. Take a moment and reflect on thy daily life, from the moment thou wakest to the meeting, the commute, and the evening on the couch. Thou art constantly running towards something, without a moment's rest. Thou art exhausted, yet cannot stop, for fear of falling behind. This era instilleth in us a sense of lack, yet the word of the Lord asketh, hast thou ever lain down by the still waters where the shepherd leadeth thee? Hast thou ever felt that in his presence it is enough? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This sentence is not merely a word of comfort, it is a declaration that changeth the way we see life. Those who trust in the Lord their shepherd know how to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth them to the still waters, and he restores their weary soul. They do not run to fill the lack, for they know that God himself is already guiding them. To say I shall not want doth not mean having everything. It is the faith that, because the Lord is with thee, in this moment all that thou needest is already provided. But what about reality? There are times when thou must walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Job loss, broken relationships, repeated failures. In the midst of such valleys, speaking of peace seemeth empty. Yet, the word of God presenteth a holy reversal. It does not say to avoid the valley, but to fear no evil. For in the valley the Lord is still with thee, and his rod and his staff they comfort thee. Peace is not something that cometh after the valley hath passed. Peace is to walk unshaken through the valley, because God walketh at thy side. Then, where are these still waters? They are not a location marked on a map. The still waters, beside which God leadeth us, are a place of rest for the trusting heart. Even modern study confirmeth this. In the midst of anxiety and lack, there is a desire to control. The belief that thou must have everything under thy own hand. But when thou trustest in the Lord thy shepherd, thou canst lay down his need to control, and rest in his care. In that moment, anxiety fatteth away, and thou findest his sufficiency in the present. Lack is not a problem of external conditions, but of faith in God. The Lord prepareth a table before thee, even in the presence of thine enemies. He anointeth thy head with oil, and thy cup runneth over. Reflect on the background of this statement. The enemy is right before thee. The threat hath not disappeared. Yet, in the midst of this, God spreadeth the table, and the cup overfloweth. The word of God declareth, fullness is not something that cometh after the crisis hath passed. 'Tis the abundance the Lord giveth thee even in the midst of crisis. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow thee all the days of thy life, not as a condition that cometh after everything hath been resolved, but as God's promise that is already valid in this very moment. Then, how canst thou make this lack-free